Hi, my name's Rob Smith. I've been doing disability sports for quite a few years. I've been a wheelchair rugby player for many years, and now I'm doing wheelchair track racing. I'm here today outside this gym. We're going to go inside in a minute and have a look what kind of equipment they've got and what you can do to use that equipment as a wheelchair user and someone with a disability. Now, my injury is a spinal cord injury, so I've had a neck injury, so my hands are quite badly affected, and also I'm an incomplete injury, so I do have some core function. But we'll go inside and see what we can do for anyone with a disability and see how we can adapt the equipment and what we can do to have a good workout. So let's go inside, see what we can do. Okay, so it looks like a really nice gym. Got lots of good equipment here. It's not a fully accessible gym, and that's the whole idea. We want to be here and see what exercises we can do to have a good workout, but in a gym which is just an average gym you might find near you. So we've got some gym machines here, we'll go on them later. There's some free weights over there. This is a TRX system, so we can have a good go on that later on. And we'll just see how we can adapt what we've got with some bits of equipment and some good ideas. So let's go and have a workout.
For the equipment in this gym, I've separated the workout into 4 different sections. Let's begin with the first section, free weights. Using the gym's free weights is a great way to get an all-over fitness regime started. Sometimes it can be difficult to grip onto the free weights if your hand function is poor. Here I'm using some Active Hands gripping aids to help me hold the free weights. It attaches around the wrist and then over the hand. There are some handy bits to help you put it through with your fingers, and it does up really tightly. The gripping aids allow you to hold the weights with your hand, and they stay firm and secure in your hand while you do a workout. Just go through a few examples of free weight exercises that you can do. I'll be doing these ones in the chair. We can start with bicep curls. Then we've got a shoulder press. It's always good to work using a mirror as well to see what you're doing, to check you're doing the right type of exercise and that your form when you're doing it is good. I'm feeling very confident holding this weight above my head. It's not going to slip at all. This is a straight arm shoulder raise. Might want to hold on to the other side of your chair just to get your balance. Now we're doing a tricep press. This weight's quite heavy for me for this exercise, so make sure you vary the weight according to what exercise you're doing. Just doing all these ones with one weight just for the speed of showing you. Another good exercise is a bent over row. This really strengthens the back of your shoulders for the upstroke of a push on your chair. Some people may find it easier to work from a bench. This one has got a solid back to give you a bit more support, and you're not likely to tip over like you could do in your chair. Again, there's this possibility of the same exercises. Here I'm just using my hand to brace myself in the chair, just to get a bit more balance. Here are a few handy hints and tips. When using the free weights, I often find it's useful to use the heavy use gripping wrap. This is another Active Hands product. It's a neoprene wrap which goes around the weight handle. It pads it out a little bit and it stops it from slipping even more and gives you a little bit more support and comfort. To avoid discomfort on the thumb when lifting heavy weights, try these thumb protectors. They just create a barrier between your skin and the weight itself and work really well with the other Active Hands products. Bench press is a great exercise for the shoulders and the triceps, but particularly for the pectoral muscles. I'm going to use somebody to help me spot here, because without a good hand function it's very difficult to balance the weight, and without being able to grip it you don't want it to roll off onto you. I'm also finding it very difficult on this quite narrow bench to keep my balance when I'm trying to press. I prefer to be as independent as possible in the gym, but sometimes doing the bench press, using somebody to spot for you, can safely help increase the weight or repetitions. For other ways to do pectoral exercises, we'll use the machines shown in the next section. The As well as the free weights, many gyms will have weights machines where you can do many similar exercises. Some will have seats that will swing away to allow you to work out from your wheelchair. Sometimes you may have to transfer. This exercise is very similar to a bench press, but from a seated vertical position. It's also possible to use this machine to do a fly exercise. This would start with the arms in a wider starting position, and they would come together in the middle as you push forward. This works your inner pecs. The lat pull down machine here is quite a difficult one to use. The seat's quite small and there's no back support at all. You may be able to use somebody else to help you support your trunk if you're in this situation, or many other machines have a back support that you can use. Here I'm also using the Active Hands looped exercise aids. These are really good if you're using two hands at the same time, because it allows you to get on and off the bar completely independently. The loops are stiff and stay open so that you can easily slide them on and off the bar at the start and the finish of your workout. The starting position of the bar will probably now be too high to reach. A good tip is to pull the pin out first, get somebody's help to pull the bar down, then push the pin back in to the appropriate position. You should then be able to reach the bar easily. Once you've found a comfortable position for your hands on the bar, pull the bar down behind your head so that it just about touches your shoulders. As you release the bar up again, release it slowly so that you get a workout on the way up as well. You can also pull the bar down in front of your head so it touches your chest. This works a slightly different set of muscles. When you finish, it's easy to slide your hands off the bar because the loops stay open and are stiff. The shoulder press is another great exercise we can do in the gym. As you push up, exhale, and as the weight comes down, inhale. You should be doing smooth motions up and down. Some gyms may have other machines you can use as well, but the last one we'll use in this gym is a seated row machine. I'm going to use the Active Hands gripping aids again. We'll do it around the wrist, and we'll be using the loops to grab the handles of this seated row machine. They'll just slide on pretty easily and it gives you a nice firm grip so you can pull as big a weight as you need to. This is a great exercise for wheelchair users. Most wheelchair exercises use a forward pushing motion, and this one works in opposition and strengthens the shoulders at the back rather than at the front. This exercise can help prevent forward rounding of the shoulders, which is a common problem after many years of wheelchair use. Cable and pulley machines are great for disabled users. You can move the pulley height to suit various exercises, and workouts can be done from a wheelchair or a removable chair if required. This first exercise simulates the downward stroke of the push of a wheelchair. Vary the weights and the repetitions for the desired workout. Less weight and more repetitions for stamina, more weight, less repetitions for strength. There are often various types of handles and attachments which can be used on these types of cable and pulley machines. Personally, I prefer these ones with solid handles but a flexible strap. These ones enable you to pull using the strap part of the handle alone if you have the wrist strength to do this. This exercise, done with a straight or nearly straight arm, works the shoulders and simulates the latter point of a push stroke. This is different to a tricep exercise and builds strength used in the second half of the stroke on the push rims for wheelchair racing or for swimming. Doing tricep raises above the head isolates the triceps and adds the extra weight of lifting your own arm to the exercise. Ideally, keep arm vertical and still and only lift from the elbow. Alternatively, move the pulley to a high position and push down from the elbows with the arms at your sides. Either can be done with both arms at the same time on one handle if required and balance allows. To increase strength across the back of the shoulders, either set the pulleys low and work to a diagonal high position, or the other way around with the pulleys high working to a low position. Imagine squeezing the shoulder blades together as you do this exercise. As well as building strength, the cable and pulley machines are great for conditioning the body and preventing injury. With long-term wheelchair use, rotator cuff problems can be an injury that often occurs. This exercise helps prevent rotator cuff problems in the future. Keep your arm at your side and rotate from the elbow inwards across the body. Perform this exercise pulling inwards with both arms, then also go outwards with both arms. Not every gym will have all the attachments for these cable and pulley machines, or you may prefer to attach directly to the carabiner on the machines. Here I'm using the Active Hands D-ring aid, which allows me to attach directly onto the carabiners. This enables me to perform all the exercises previously shown and some others in addition. Tricep raises, straight arm lifts, cross the body pulls. Here I'm just using one hand and stabilising myself on the machine with the other. Bicep curls and shoulder raises. Here just trying to lift your shoulders nicely up to your ears and hold for a second. I've recently really enjoyed using the punch bag on the TRX system. I didn't get on very well with the gym's normal boxing gloves, so I used some of the Active Hands products to help me. Here I've got one of the gripping wraps attached around a piece of plastic tubing, and I'm putting that in my hand with the general purpose gripping aids. These work really well as boxing gloves, and the addition of the padded bar inside your hand stops your fingers being crushed when you punch the bag. I find it best to attach both wrist straps first, and then when you've got one of the bars in your hand, you can then struggle to do the last one. It is a little bit difficult, but with a bit of perseverance you can do the second one up, but you might have to use your teeth at some points. Once they're both tight, let's get ready to box. I don't profess to be an expert at boxing, but I do find this is a great exercise. This is great for a cardiovascular workout. It also improves fast twitch muscle fibres, which are great for sports requiring quick bursts of power, such as accelerating and rapid changes of direction. Working from a wheelchair, the chair will move about, so you can try punching with one hand while steadying the chair with the other. If core strength and balance in your chair is more of an issue, try putting the chair up against the TRX system. You can then lean the punch bag on your knees and you're in a more secure position to do your workout. With the bag on your knees, you can get much closer to it. You can also use your head to stabilise yourself a bit. I find varying the speed and position that you punch the bag will work slightly different muscles. Here I'm using the tricep dip bar in a high position to do a chin-up exercise. I've attached one hand to each side of the bar using the Active Hands looped aids. With my feet on the floor, I just about have enough balance to be able to do this exercise. Alternatively, you can use one bar and put the loops in front of each other and bring your head up either side of the bar. When you're finished, just try and position yourself back onto the chair. This TRX system has a mini trampoline which is great for throwing a heavy medicine ball against. This is a great exercise for triceps and balance. To vary your workout, you can change the weight of the medicine ball and the distance away from the trampoline from which you throw it. Bear in mind that a heavy medicine ball could knock you out the back of your chair when you catch it. This is excellent for sports such as basketball and wheelchair rugby. The last exercise for using the TRX system is the heavy ropes. Use your general purpose gripping aids from Active Hands to attach these to your hands. Attaching the second one might be a little bit difficult, but you should be able to do it using your teeth. Stretch the ropes out. Move the ropes in opposition to work your shoulders and your arms. It's also really good for balance. As well as working the ropes in opposition, you can do this exercise with both the ropes going up and down at the same time. Thanks for watching and enjoy your workout. Before undertaking any exercise, always consult a doctor or medical professional for advice on your own condition and if you are safe to exercise and use gym equipment. To avoid muscle strains, both before and after exercising, you should get your body ready with a series of stretches. Ask a trained physiotherapist if you need advice on the stretches that will suit your condition. These exercises are just some useful examples of what can be done in the gym. Equipment and therefore the exercises you can do will vary from gym to gym.